And Missouri's primary elections are just a couple of months away, and many candidates are already hitting the campaign trail. Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe made a stop in Ralls County tonight. WGEM's Claire Edlin spoke with him and has more on what he has to say to potential voters. Claire?
Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe's first day of his statewide bus tour in the race for governor. The Republican candidate stopped in at Ralls County Electric Cooperative to talk with locals about his top priorities in office. This includes addressing the state's crime problem, education, economic development, and agriculture. He says with his life experiences, this gives him a unique perspective.
I think I have a unique perspective being 35 years in small business, fortunately to build several different successful businesses, first generation farmer. I think those are the things that give you the background to really run an organization like the state of Missouri and do it efficiently.
Kehoe's next stop will be in Carrollton, Missouri, and he'll continue to campaign across the state all the way until August 6 primaries. You can find more about the other candidates in this story on our website, WGEM.com. Daniel?
All right, thanks, Claire. And right now, Kehoe is acting governor. That's because Governor Mike Parson is on an overseas trade mission.